Hey, folks, welcome to today's reading of Job from the Holy Bible. And we are going to pick up with chapter 3. Um, before we begin, let's just recap what happened in chapter 1 and chapter 2. So basically, we got Job, who's one of the first, if I'm not mistaken, one of the first people in the Bible, since Job is one of the, I think, the first book ever written. Maybe I'm wrong, but he was one of the very first people to exist in this time. So, um, the Lord's here, then Satan. Oh, by the way, Job has all the amenities he could have in the world. He has 7 sons, 3 daughters, 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, 500 female donkeys, and multiple servants. Job lived by the Lord. And then comes Satan to God and says, um, I'm just here walking around the earth looking for people to screw with. And then God was like, well, Job is one person who has never failed me. And the devil tries to get Job off guard. So he says, Job will certainly curse you if this and such happens. So Joe or God says, okay, you can have him, just don't kill him. So first he strikes down his property, and then he strikes him with disease, with boils. So despite this, the Job does not curse the Lord. Rather, he says, blessed be the Lord. So, um, yeah, that's what happens. What else? So, even to the point where his wife is like, just curse him already and die, and it'll be over with. It's like, are you crazy? Despite all that I have lost, the Lord's the one who gave it to me. He's the reason that I have life, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Why would I curse him? So he is sad. He is destroyed, and he invites his 3 friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, to comfort him. But boy, will things take a great turn. Chapter 3, Job's Lament. Uh, Michael Doucette, God bless you and welcome in. Let me go get a drink, folks. How's it going, my friend? Be right back. I'll get a drink. I'm back. I'm back, folks. With the drink, we're going to get started really soon. So, folks, we're going to start back with chapter 3, right? Okay. Just taking a moment to get back on track. I'm holding my helmet watching you. God bless you and welcome in. Um, 88 fourth hammer. Um, thank you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, folks. Here we are. Um, so let's start with chapter 3. This is Job's lament. Afterward, Job opened his mouth and cursed the day of his birth. This is how we do. God bless you, welcome in. And Job said, "May the day on which I was to be born perish, as well as the night which which said, a voice conceived. D1 Bama, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. Amen. God bless you. Welcome in." Anyways, Job said, "May the day on which I was to be born perish, as well as the night which said, a voice conceived. May that day be darkness. May God not above not care for it, nor light shine on it. May darkness and black gloom claim it. May a cloud settle on it. May the blackness of the day terrify it. As for that night, may darkness seize it. May it not rejoice among the days of the year. May it not come into the number of the months. Behold, may that night be barren. May no joyful shout enter it. May those curse it who curse the day, who are prepared to disturb Leviathan. May the stars of its twilight be darkened. May it wait for light, but not none. And may it not see the breaking dawn, because it did not shut the opening of my mother's womb, or hide trouble from my eyes. Why did I not die at birth, come out of the womb and pass away? Why were the knees there in front of me, and why the breast that I would nurse? For now I would have lain down and been quiet. I would have slept then. I would have been at rest. With kings and counselors of the earth who rebuilt ruins for themselves, with rulers who had gold, who were filling their horses with silver. Or like a miscarriage which is hidden, I would not exist, as infants that never saw light. There the wicked cease from raging, and there the weary are at rest. The prisoners are at ease together. They do not hear the voice of the taskmaster. The small and the great are there, and a slave is free from his master. Why is that given to one burdened with grief and life to the bitter soul, who long for death but bears none, and dig it for more than hidden treasures, who are filled with jubilation and rejoice when they find the grave? Why is light given to a man whose way is hidden and whom God has shut off? For my groaning comes at the sight of my food, and my cries pour out like water. For what I fear comes upon me, and what I dread encounters me. I am not at ease, nor am I quiet, and am not at rest, but turmoil comes. Sheesh. Okay. So, all you need to know about chapter 3 is Job, amongst all the troubles that he had, his disease and all his stuff being destroyed by the devil, and his family too, he wishes he would have never been born. He wishes he was dead. Okay, now let's move on to chapter 4. Eliphaz says the innocent do not suffer. Then Eliphaz the Temanite responded, "If one ventures a word with you, will you become impatient? But who can refrain from speaking? Behold, you have taught many, and you have strengthened weak hands. Your words have helped the stumbling to stand, and you have strengthened feeble knees. But now it comes to you, and you are impatient. It touches you, and you are horrified. Is your fear of God not your confidence in the integrity of your ways your hope? Remember now, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the upright destroyed. According to what I have seen, those who plow wrongdoing and those who sow trouble harvest it. By the breath of God they perish, and by the blast of his anger they come to an end. The roaring of the lion and the voice of the fierce lion and the teeth of the young lions are broken out. The lion perishes for lack of prey, and the cubs of the lioness are scattered. Now a word was brought to me secretly, and my ear received a whisper of it, amid disquieting thoughts from visions of the night, when deep sleep falls on people. Dead came upon me and trembling and made all my bones shake. Then a spirit passed by my face. The hair of my flesh stood up. Something was standing still, but I could not recognize his appearance. The form was before my eyes. There was silence, then I heard a voice. Can mankind be righteous before God? Can a man be pure before his Maker? He puts no trust even in his servants, and he accuses his angels of error. How much more those who live in houses of clay, whose foundation is in dust, who are crushed before the moth. Between morning and evening they are broken in pieces, unregarded, they perish forever. Is their tent cord not pulled out from within them? They die yet without wisdom. Hey, that's chapter 4. So Eliphaz is saying, look, you're freaking out way too much. He also says, in a way, look, I've seen people do wrong, and the Lord destroys them. So he's inciting that Job did wrong. Whatever it is, something to deserve this wrongdoing. Um, he also said, somebody spoke to me and said, my ear received a whisper, a voice, which not sure. Job books. I think he's saying God spoke to him, and God says he doesn't trust you. You've sinned, so therefore he's not confident in you. So basically, Eliphaz in chapter 4 is accusing Job of wrongdoing that he does not know of. Chapter 5, God is just. Call now. Is there anyone who will answer you? And to which of the holy ones will you return? For irritation kills the fool, and jealousy brings death to the simple. I have seen the fool taking root, and I cursed his home immediately. His sons are far from safety. They are also oppressed at the gate, and there is no one to save for them. The hungry devour his harvest and take it to a place of thorns, and the schemer is eager for their wealth. For disaster does not come from the dust, nor does trouble sprout from the ground. For man is born for trouble, as sparks fly upward. But as for me, I would seek God. and I will make my plea before God, who does great and unsearchable things, wonders without number. He gives rains on the earth and sends water on the fields, so that he sets on high those who are lowly, and those who mourn are lifted to safety. And he frustrates the schemes of the shrewd, so that their hands cannot attain success. He captures the wise by their own cleverness, and the advice of the cunning is quickly thwarted. By day they meet with darkness and grope at noon as in night. But he saves from the sword of their mouth, and the poor from the hand of the strong. Still the helpless have hope, and injustice has shed its meat. Behold, happy is the person whom God disciplines, so do not reject the discipline of the Almighty, for he inflicts pain and gives relief. He wounds, but his hands also reveal. In 6 troubles he will save you. Even in 7, evil will not touch you. In famine he will redeem you from death, and in war from the power of the sword. You will be hidden from the scourge of the tongue, and you will not be afraid of violence when it comes. You will laugh at violence and hunger, and you will not be afraid of wild animals, for you will be in league with the stones of the field, and the animals of the field will be at peace with you. You will know that your tent is secure, for you will visit your home and have nothing missing. You will also know that your descendants will be many, and your offspring as the grass of the earth. You will come to the great ripe age like the stacking of grain in its season. Behold this, we have investigated it, and so it is. Hear it and know for yourself. Okay. Goodness gracious. So chapter 4, I'm sorry, chapter 5, Eliphaz is still speaking. And Eliphaz says, look, God disciplines those whom he loves. And even if you're at fault, he still loves you. And throughout this pain that you're feeling, regardless, he's going to help you get through this so that your reward may be in abundance and in great measure. So basically, he's trying to console Job. So yeah, that's what happens. Um, all this at this point, these people mean good, but um, all that will change. So we're gonna get to chapter 5, or sorry, chapter 6. Okay. Job's friends are no help. Then Job responded, oh, if only my grief were actually weighed and laid in the balances together with my disaster. for then it would be heavier than the sand of the seas. For that reason my words have been rash. For the arrows of the Almighty are within me. My spirit drinks their poison. The terrors of God line up against me. Does the wild donkey bray over his grass, or does the ox low over his feed? Can something tasteless be eaten without salt? Or is there any taste in the juice of an alkanet plant? My soul refuses to touch them. They are like loathsome food to me. Oh, that I request might come to pass, and that God would grant my hope. Oh, that God would decide to crush me, that he would let loose his hand and cut me off. But it is still my comfort, and I rejoice in unsparing pain, that I have not denied the works of the Holy One. What is my strength that I should wait? And what is my end that I should endure? Is my strength the strength of stones, or is my flesh bronze? Is it that my help is not within me, and that a good outcome is driven away from me? For the despairing man there should be kindness from his friends, that he does not abandon the fear of the Almighty. My brother's head is acted deceitfully like a wadi, like the torrents of wadis which drain away, which are darkened because of ice and into which the snow melts. When they dry up, they vanish. When it is hot, they disappear from their place. The paths of their course wind along. They go up into wasteland and perish. The caravans of Tema looked. Um, the travelers of Sheba hoped for them. They were put to shame, for they had trusted. They came there and were humiliated. Indeed, you have now become such. You see terrors and are afraid. Have I said, give me something, or offer a bribe for me from the wealth, or save me from the hand of the enemy, or redeem me from the hand of the tyrants? Teach me, and I will be silent and show them how I have done wrong. How painful are honest words, but what does your argument prove? Do you intend to rebuke my words when the words of one in despair belong to the wind? You would even cast lots for the orphans and barter over your friend. Now please look at me and see if I am lying to your face. Please turn away and let there be a known justice. Turn away, my righteousness is still in it. Is there injustice on my tongue? Does my palate not discern disasters? Okay, so chapter 6 is Job rebuking his friends over the fact that he is being accused of wrongdoing. So Eliphaz is like, you've done wrong, but God still loves you. If you do right, he'll make everything good again. But that's not what happens. Job knows that he hasn't done wrong. And he's like, your words are no use. Your words are empty. They're deceitful. They're short sighted. And now he's even more inconsolable, it seems. All right, let's continue on with chapter 7. And this chapter is called Job's Life. Job's life is, or seems futile. So let's start. Is a person not forced to labor on the earth? And are his days not like the days of a hired worker? As a slave pants for the shade, and as a hired worker who eagerly waits for his wages, so I am allotted worthless months and nights of trouble are apportioned to me. When I lie down, I say, when shall I arise? But the night continues, and I am continually tossing until dawn. My flesh is clothed with maggots in a crust of dirt. My skin hardens and oozes. My days are swifter than the weaver's shuttle, and they come to an end without hope. Remember that my life is a mere breath. My eye will not see goodness again. The eye of him who sees me will no longer look at me. Your eyes will be on me, but I will not exist. When a cloud vanishes, it is gone. In the same way, one who goes down to Sheol does not come up. He will not return to his house again, nor his place know about him any more. Therefore, I will not restrain my mouth. I will speak in the anguish of my spirit. I will complain in the bitterness of my soul. Am I the sea or the sea monster that you set a guard over me? If I say, my couch will comfort me, my bed will ease my complaint, then you frighten me with dreams and terrify me by visions so that my soul will choose suffocation, death, rather than my pains. I waste away. I will not live forever. Leave me alone, for my days are only a breath. What is man that you exalt him and that you are concerned about him, that you examine him every morning and put him to the test every morning? Will you never turn your gaze away from me, nor leave me until I swallow my spittle? Have I sinned? What have I done to you, watcher of mankind? Why have you made your target so that I am burdened to my cell? Why then do you not forgive my wrongdoing and take away my guilt? For now I will lie down in the dust, and you will search for me, but I will no longer exist. Hold on. Word of the Lord. Praise be to God. So, chapter 8 is Job speaking to God, face to face to God. So, Job, in all the midst of his pain, he's basically like, oh no, no. It feels like I am doomed to suffer, and there's no relief on the way, it seems. And I don't know what to do. I just want to die. That's what he's saying. Don't flag me, by the way, you do. But that's what he's saying. He wants to die so badly because all of his things are taken away. And he's basically saying, at least I followed the Lord with all my heart. But behold, I am only temporary. Once I pass away from this earth, I will not be remembered. And there will be zero people who will know about me. There will be zero people who will, you know, uh, care about me. And I'll be easily forgotten, and all this pain will stop. But right now, I'm gone. I'm gone very much into terror, pain, and anguish. That was chapter 7, folks. So, chapter 7 is Job is like, soon this will be over. Just take me away, Lord. If I did any wrong in your sight, please forgive me. But as for me, I'm just about done on earth. Take me away so that this pain may never come in again. I'd rather pass away in this pain than live without you, Lord. That's what he's saying. So, chapter 3 is um, summarizing what we read right here. Chapter 3 is basically saying, oh my goodness, wish I was never born. And then Eliphaz is saying, surely you have done wrong, for God disciplines all people he loves, but he'll be rewarding you. Just turn away for whatever wrongdoing, and he'll certainly reward you. And then chapter 6 is, you fool, you speak empty words and know not about me. And then chapter 7 is, Lord, what have you done to me? Why have you put wrath on me? Why don't you take me away instead so I can die in peace? Auf Wiedersehen me, Lord, so that this pain will stop. I'll no longer be remembered as I'll just be one speck blown away into the midst of everything. So yeah, Joe is at this point on suicide watch. I just said the word. I'm sorry, YouTube. I don't mean to offend you, but that's what's happening. All right, folks. Y'all have a blessed day. We'll continue with chapter 8 tomorrow. Sleep deep, rise and shine bright. I know it's still 4:58 p.m. Central time.